Little Sister is a spin off of the Babysitter's Club for younger readers, like second or third graders. The main character is Karen Brewer, Christie's stepsister. She narrates all of the books. I know a lot of people think Karen is an annoying brat. Now that we can read about things from her point of view, yeah, she's still pretty annoying. Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review. The book starts with Karen talking all about herself. Get used to that. Her parents are divorced and remarried, so she has two houses and two of everything, like toys and games and clothes. Karen loves having twice as much stuff as everyone else, and she likes having two houses because she can break all of Mommy's rules at Daddy's house, and she can break all of Daddy's rules at Mommy's house. Karen loves breaking rules because she's an out-of-control egomaniac. Also, she's 6. A woman named Mrs. Porter lives next door to Dad. Karen thinks she's a witch named Morbida Destiny. Why does she think the neighbor is a witch, you might ask? Well, keep asking. Karen never explains why the neighbor is a witch, even though that's the premise of the entire book. As soon as Karen arrives at Dad's house, he goes to the movies, because he wants to get as far away from Karen as possible. Christy babysits. Karen sees the neighbor's cat on the porch and starts screaming. Christy helps calm her down. That night, Karen has a nightmare where she sees the witch neighbor flying on a broom. Christy helps calm her down again, and Karen goes to sleep in Christy's room. Christy is a much better babysitter in this series than in the main Babysitter's Club series. One of Dad's rules is no spying on other people. Karen constantly breaks this rule throughout the book. The next day, she spies on the neighbor's house. Mrs. Porter isn't at home, so Karen deduces she's at a witch meeting. Either that, or she's trying to get as far away from Karen as possible. That's what I would do. Karen's best friend Hanny appears. Hanny is Karen's best friend, mainly because she does whatever Karen tells her to do. The girls play witch, and they overhear Mrs. Porter talk about an important meeting at 12. Karen figures it's a witches' meeting at midnight, so she tries to stay up late with the help of an alarm clock. She sleeps through the entire thing. Karen blames the witch for ruining the alarm clock because it's obviously impossible that Karen made a mistake in setting the alarm. There's a chapter where Dad catches Karen spying, but she lies her way out of trouble. And there's a chapter where Christy catches Karen spying, but Christy goes to the mall instead of tattling on Karen. I swear, Karen gets away with so much rule breaking, it's ridiculous. At noon, lots of people arrive at Mrs. Porter's house. Karen runs to get Hanny so the two of them can stop the witches' meeting. To protect themselves, the girls steal Mrs. Porter's herbs and make up a magic spell. They spend an entire chapter arguing over the words of the imaginary spell. Karen rings Mrs. Porter's doorbell and forces her way into the house. She tells all the people that they are witches and she wants them gone, or else she's going to tell her parents. She chants her magic spell, the witches immediately dissolve into nothing, and Karen becomes the town hero. Just kidding. It's not a witches' meeting because witches aren't real. It's actually a meeting of the local gardeners' club. Grandma is at the meeting and she takes Karen home. Karen sadly explains everything to her father and stepmother. They decide to punish her by... Karen doesn't get any punishment. Karen thought she was doing the right thing, so she gets a free pass on harassing the neighbor, accusing innocent strangers of crimes, and humiliating Grandma in front of all of her friends. Hopefully, the complete lack of punishment will teach Karen that it's not okay to spy on other people. They force Karen to write an apology note to Mrs. Porter, but the note is a huge lie. Karen is still convinced that Mrs. Porter is a witch. The end. Post-book follow-up. Here's the Karen drinking game. Karen hasn't invented the term tutu yet, so I added a bonus category. Is this book as bad as people make it out to be? No, not really. There are filler chapters which waste time, and Karen is a little brat who gets away with everything, but it didn't make me want to tear pages out of the book as much as Karen's narration did in Super Special 1. Here's probably the best example of why Karen is a bad person. Hanny and Karen get into a minor argument over the witch meeting at midnight. Karen criticizes Hanny for not believing her. The next day, when Karen has been proven wrong, she criticizes Hanny for believing her. Yep, she criticizes Hanny for two opposite things. There's just no winning with this girl. Granted, she's 6, so being introspective isn't one of her strong suits, but still, it would be nice if our narrator wasn't a horrible person. Overall, I'd say this is an okay book for a 6-year-old girl, I guess. The witch thing is only kind of interesting, and Karen's a bit of a snot. If you really like witches, I would recommend the Bailey School Kids Witch book over this one. I have a hard time coming up with numbered scores for a simpler kids book like this one, so I'll be using the thumbs up and thumbs down rating system for this series. This book is in the middle. I give Babysitter's Little Sister number 1, Karen's Witch, a sideways thumbs up.